Good morning on this humid and mild Tuesday morning where it's currently 87 degrees at 6:15 a.m. and Bailey just left. You know, when I first wake up in the morning, I always think to myself, what kind of day ahead do I have planned? And there's usually four categories. There's, I have nothing planned and I'm happy about it. I have nothing planned and I'm not happy about it. I've got a lot planned and I'm happy about it, or a lot planned and I'm not happy about it. Today is one of those days where I have a lot planned and I'm happy about it. I started filling my dog pool a few minutes ago and Bailey already wants to jump in. Now, I was originally just planning to fill it so we could get in later, but I don't know if she's gonna wait. She's already got her nose halfway in there. And Bolt, he didn't like it last year, but he was kind of little. I'm wondering how he's going to react this year, although he's acting a little skittish about it. But I also got some taste tests planned for today, which I'm looking forward to. And I'm going to try something today, which is I kind of started Huntington Beach, not by choice, but that's just how it went. But I'm going to try to break my vlog up over 2 days to spread out my eating, which is probably a good idea, and to avoid feeling rushed at the end of the day when I have to finish editing and rendering this vlog. We shall see. But on my agenda for today, I've got a couple taste tests planned. One of them for breakfast, which I'm looking forward to. I've got an errand to run while I'll be sitting in my car for a while, so I'm going to do another one then. Try to make the best of my time. On the days that I actually create a things to do list, I'm always far more productive. I don't know why I don't do it every day, but I have one of those today. It's a long list. If I can get through half of it, I'll be happy. But it's kind of humid here in Vegas, which is weird. You know, we don't get humidity. The other day it was 3% humidity. 3. That almost seems impossible. I don't know what it is now, but I can feel it. It's just like, I'm not used to that. I was thinking maybe I'll sneak in a walk before it gets too late. I haven't been walking that much because it's been so hot. It's not so bad right now. Maybe I can sneak one in before I get started on my day. You know, in that very short period of time, I was just filming out in my backyard. 3 mosquito bites. 3. I can't even wear short sleeve shirt and shorts on a hot, humid day. So here I am, long pants, long sleeve shirt, sweating. You know, we didn't used to have mosquitoes here. It's a recent thing. Was I spoiled all those years? Maybe. I enjoy being spoiled, but I ain't spoiled anymore. I guess I'm gonna have to break down and get some DEET. I mean, I think I have some at home, but I'm really not a big fan of applying that, but I can't just walk around all covered up like this. But anyways, I'm gonna head back home for my first round of taste tests. Now, when it was a one-day vlog, to me it's kind of like a concert. We have a headliner and some opening acts. Well, this is more like a 2-day festival where I'm gonna have multiple headliners and multiple opening acts. Of course, who am I fooling? This is nowhere as cool as a concert. But I'm gonna head home and start opening act for the first day, which is a food and a drink, one of them being for breakfast, and I'm getting hungry, so let's head back home and get started. It's time for taste test opening act. And for this, I have my breakfast, which is Eggo Zero, which just came out. Got some notes on it right here. These came out July of 2026. They say it's Eggo's first waffle line with 0 grams of added sugar. 2 waffles contain about 160 calories and 12 grams of protein compared with 4 grams of protein for regular Eggos. Now, one thing I noticed is when I made these two in my toaster, this one is like twice as heavy as this one. I don't know why. They're right next to each other in the box. Let me just take a bite of this before I add some syrup to it. Syrup. Syrup. Let me try this one now. There is a very faint sweetness to it. If my taste buds are not deceiving me, that could be an artificial sweetener. I don't know, we'll see. Let's add some syrup to this and try the full-fledged version here. And after this taste test, I'm washing it down with a new drink as well, so stay tuned for that. And Bolt, you can't have any. By the way, there's also a blueberry version there, buttermilk and blueberry. I got the buttermilk because that's what I usually get. Now, there's a very slight difference in texture from the typical Eggo. There's a very slight sweetness that I'm not usually picking up. Unless I'm really paying attention to it, it's kind of the same. If you're really paying attention to it, there might be a slight difference. I think that there's more of a texture difference than a taste difference because these have a lot more protein. There's something added to make all that protein in here. That's probably what's making the texture different. I went through 2 cycles on my toaster, and the outside is nice and crispy like I like it, but there's still a softness on the inside that I don't usually get. Usually my Eggos, when I put them in there, they're crisp all the way through. This is not crisp all the way through. It's soft in the center, which, difference of opinion. I'm not sure I like it better. I like a crispy waffle. I don't know if I like it as soft on the inside as this one is. But on the other hand, I'm overanalyzing. If you were to eat this and be sitting at your breakfast table, you ain't gonna know so much difference. Or will you? I'm gonna finish these, give my final thoughts, and then move on to the energy drink. I would say it was pretty good, but the more I ate it, it's definitely not the same. That texture is different. I don't think it's gonna bother most people, but just know it ain't exactly the same. If you're thinking, oh, it's gonna be the same thing, it ain't quite the same. If you're an Eggo purist, like maybe I am, you gotta go into it knowing that those extra grams of protein come at a cost, and that's the cost of a difference from what you're used to. Not bad, but I don't know if I'd buy it again. I don't know, I'll think about that. But let's move on to the next item here now. I gotta watch. I had nothing to drink with that. I'm dying of thirst here. So I'm gonna have some Skatt. Bum Energy Baja Skatt. Now, this is a collaboration with Cam Scatabo. That name, you have the word bum and you have the word scat in something you're gonna consume. Where does scat come from? Your bum. My notes on this, it came out summer of 2026. Limited collaboration. Supposedly it combines blue raspberry, cherry, and lime in a candy-like tropical energy drink. Each can contains 112 milligrams of caffeine and cognizant, I don't know what that next word is. I don't know what the next word is. Now, if you recall, I did a bum energy drink taste test recently. This one wasn't out then, so it's gonna be nice to add to my collection of taste tests. Let's see how that bum scat tastes. There's a lot going on in that smell. It smells sweet. It smells sweet. You know, it's funny, it doesn't taste as sweet as it smells. It almost has that Taco Bell Baja Blast vibe to it. They even got the color the same. Are you trying to rip off Baja Blast? Are you trying to rip off Taco Bell? I don't know. But you know what though? I kind of like it. I kind of like this one. Bit of a sweet aftertaste, but it doesn't bother me. Sometimes these energy drinks just go way overboard with the sweetness and the artificial sweetener. This one doesn't. I want to say this is very Baja Blast-like, probably on purpose. I'm not sure about the name Skatt, bum Skatt. But you know what though? This one's pretty good. Some people might say 112 milligrams of caffeine is too mid, but on the other hand, back in the day, that was considered a lot. I'm gonna have to see what my son Brandon, who's an energy drink junkie, thinks about this. By the way, Brandon's been posting energy drink reviews on TikTok. I've been trying to get him to go on YouTube. Maybe he will come back again after a 7-year break. But if you want to follow Brandon on TikTok, I'll leave a link below. But I want to see what he thinks about this because he's a big Baja Blast fan and he's a big energy drink fan. I think he would like it. Brandon, if you can find this, pick one up. If you can't, you're out of luck. But I think it's pretty good. If you like Baja Blast, try some bum scat in your mouth. Well, my breakfast is over, but I've got a lot to do today, so let's get to it. You know, I fill this up in the morning so it has a chance to warm up a little bit towards the afternoon. Let's see what temperature this water is. Oh, that should be nice. That should be nice. What do you think, Bailey? She's really waiting to get in there. We'll get in there soon, okay? Very soon. I don't know about him, though. He may not want to. You know, it's a beautiful yet humid day. In fact, there's cicadas buzzing in the background. And I thought this would be a cool chance to try my next taste test at the park. But of course I forgot my tripod, so I'm gonna have to use this. I reviewed this like years ago, and I keep this in my wallet. It's a kind of my backup emergency tripod, so that's what I'm going with. Hopefully the camera's not looking at my nose, because I didn't trim my nose hair this morning. But for this taste test, I want to try something I've never tried before. It's not new, and that is this. Liquid Death Cherry Obituary. I've been kind of going through the Liquid Death flavors. I've tried one already. I have a lot of them at home. I'm gonna try to do one per video until I've done all of them. Not because it's particularly interesting, but because I want to say I did it. But my notes on this are, this is released in March of 2024, described as lightly sweetened cherry sparkling water with lemon and lime notes. They say it's positioned between ordinary seltzer and cherry soda with 10 calories. 2 grams of sugar per can. From what I could tell online, people were saying that it's more flavorful than regular sparkling water and lower sugar. But some people said it contains stevia, which might leave an aftertaste. And some people said the cherry flavor reminds them of cough syrup. That does not bode well. Now my notes said 10 calories per can. This is a bigger can. This is 20 calories. And once again, as everything else here, it contains 0% juice. By the way, I have a couple of young viewers who sent in a video recently, and they were given their example of them trying some unusual food combinations. And to those young men, I say, I salute you for your joy of interesting flavor combinations. And to quote that video, down the hatchet. You know what's funny? It almost smells like beer when you first hold up to your nose. It's not. That might be a good or a bad thing to some people. I'm gonna say I kind of like this one. You know, it feels kind of crisp like water. It doesn't feel like some of these sparkling waters just go way overboard. It's not overly sweet. There's a cherry flavor in there. It's kind of subtle, but kind of nice at the same time. Bit of an aftertaste, not something to to really complain about. Very slight, but I think it's pretty good. The ingredients are carbonated water, agave nectar, citric acid, natural flavor, which includes cherry, lime, lemon, stevia leaf extract, so that is in there. Seems like that's a big sweetener these days, and a lot of people don't really like it that much. I don't know what's up with that. But in this case, you know, it's funny. There's almost a hint of like cotton candy flavor to it. So I don't dislike it. I think it's pretty good. I'll drink this and I'll enjoy it. Would I buy it again? Maybe. I don't think I'd pick it over other sparkling waters or even just regular sparkling water. I do enjoy it. The more I drink it, the more I get of a cotton candy aftertaste to it. Cherry up front, cotton candy in the back. I haven't really had much Liquid Death. I'm going to go through all of them over time. But right now, of the two I've tried, this is my favorite. How will it rank over time? We shall see. And by the way, while I'm here, at the end of this video, I am in the process of creating a little montage. It's going to be clips of every single one of my 100 vlogs, because this is my 100th vlog. Now, the first 52 vlogs were on my main channel. Some of them members videos, some were public, some were unlisted, which would get a guy a bit messy, which is why I moved him here. And then in January, I started on this channel, and then not long after that, I started integrating the food taste tests with the vlogs into one cohesive style. In the montage, you're going to see all these vlog clips, and then you're going to start seeing food things later on. That's how the channel went. That's how the vlogs have gone. The other thing is I was going to do 100 1-second clips, but the problem is I had a hard time with that because a lot of sentences are longer than 1 second, so it's going to be more than that. I tried, but I ended up just giving up and just getting 1 to 4 seconds per clip, so it's going to be several minutes long. I'm not sure if most of you will have the stamina to watch all that, but those of you who do, I salute you. Now it's time for me to go back home and get set up for the main event for this channel, which is 3 more sparkling waters, and then I'm going to have some pool dog time, and that should be fun. So I'm going to get out of this park while I'm enjoying my water and move on to the rest of my day. It's time for the freaking 2 Day 1 main event. The headliner today is the Waterloo collaboration with Guy Fieri. We have 3 flavors of sparkling water. These just came out in May of 2026, so they're still pretty new, and I believe it's a limited time as well. The 3 flavors are apple pie a la mode, coconut lime cooler, and root beer float. I've got some notes on these right here, but what I'm going to do is jump right into it. I'm going to go alphabetically. We're going to go apple pie a la mode first. My notes on this flavor, they say it's an unsweetened sparkling water with tart green apple, baking spice, and vanilla notes. It attempts to recreate both apple pie and vanilla ice cream without any sugar or calories. That's a tall task. If you can pull that off, you're a genius, whoever you are. I doubt Guy Fieri was back there in the tasting room, but you never know. I was looking around for opinions on this online. People who liked it, they say it's pretty unusual and interesting. Some people were saying that it wasn't that effective because apple pie relies on sweetness. It's not sweet. The smell is there. It smells like apple pie. If you just stop right there, I'd probably say it's a success, but we gotta try it out first. Here we go. Do I like it? Is it accurate? I have questions. I would say it smells more like apple pie than it tastes. There's a bit of like a spiced apple flavor in there, but it's not sweet, which is kind of weird, but it's not bitter either. It's kind of neutral. If there is vanilla in there, it's way in the back. The vanilla is in the back seat. It's weird, it's not really that, it's not sweet at all, but on the other hand, you do get kind of in the realm of apple pie a la mode with 0 calories. I gotta give them a pass on it being highly accurate and give them credit for being pretty good, considering what the promises of the flavor were. If you didn't tell me it was apple pie a la mode, I might have thought it was just an apple flavor. A la mode, maybe not. Apple, yeah. I would say it's pretty good, and we're off to a good start. Next up, alphabetically, we're gonna go with the coconut lime cooler. My notes on this one say that it's a tropical sparkling water combining smooth coconut flavor with a bright key lime. It is intended to feel like a refreshing poolside drink without sugar, calories, or alcohol. By the way, that apple has a pleasant aftertaste. It's still back there, I kinda like it. Coconut lime. The smells are accurate. These are probably the most accurate smells I ever had. That is good. I instantly feel like I'm sitting by a pool. That tastes like the side of a pool, assuming no one's using that as their restroom. They nailed that. That's good. That is pretty good. I mean, for no calories, no sugar, there's a slight sweetness to it, but it must be a natural sweetness. The ingredients, the ingredients don't yield much. Purified carbonated water, natural flavors. That's all it says. That tastes like coconut lime, and that is accurate. They nailed it. They nailed it. It seems like it would be almost a requirement to be by a pool to be drinking this because that's exactly what it tastes like. Very good job on that one. That's a winner as far as I'm concerned. I'm almost kind of bummed out that's not permanent. All right, let's move on to the root beer float. Oh, my notes on this one say that it's an unsweetened sparkling water designed to recreate classic root beer spices with creamy vanilla notes. It contains no sugar, no calories, no dairy. Opinions online, some people were saying it was kind of unusual and nostalgic tasting. They like the fact that there's no calories or sugar. Kind of with the apple pie, some people were saying the root beer is sweet, and without its sweetness, it doesn't taste like root beer, but let's see. Smells like root beer. It tastes like root beer. It's not a strong root beer flavor, but it's not so mild that it's kind of like way in the back. It's there. The thing about these is they don't have any artificial sweeteners. It doesn't say agave nectar or stevia or any of that stuff. Just sparkling water, natural flavors, and carbonated water. That's it. And with that in mind, they absolutely nailed it. If you're looking for some overly sweet, powerful flavor, you ain't gonna get it. But if you're looking for a sparkling water that tastes kind of like what these flavors are supposed to be, they nailed it. I am a fan of Waterloo. I'm a fan of Guy Fieri Waterloo. That's right. The coconut lime and the root beer are very accurate, and they taste good. The apple pie a la mode, maybe a bit apple, not a la mode, but it's also quite good as well. If I had to rank these three, go down the line here. They're all good, but I'm gonna say the coconut lime is my favorite, root beer next, apple pie a la mode third, but they're all quite good. This was kind of a last minute addition, and I'm glad I tried it. These are really good. If you see these in the stores, I say grab them, because I think you're gonna like it. If any one of these flavors appeals to you, definitely grab one of these. Unfortunately, I think they're limited time, so grab them while they last. And with that, the day one main event is over, so let's see what's next. I've been looking forward to this all day long. Me and Bailey having fun. Good girl, here, good girl, good girl. Come on, Bolt. Oh, good girl. Yummy dog water. This is true dog water. This is dog soup. Good girl. Bailey still loves it. Oh, she's excited now. She's excited now. You're a wet dog. There you, whoa, Bailey. He ain't gonna like this. Bolt, wet bolt. Nope. Just like last year, that's a big nope. 2 years in a row for nope. Can I get 2 of the enchiladas? Good morning on this Wednesday morning where it's currently 95 degrees at 9 a.m. and I've been awake for 5 hours already. That's right, 4 a.m. wake up. And I've got my aging freaking review shirt. I usually only wear this around the house, but I'm taking a shower after my walk, so I figured I'll throw on something old. That's pretty old. Not only is the shirt old, but the guy in the picture's old too. Because I woke up so offensively early today, I have to kind of get a jump on my day. Because I know by this afternoon, I'm gonna crash and burn. I was having a conversation recently about food taste tests, and someone said, well, wouldn't a chef be a better person to do food taste tests than the average Joe? And my thought is, maybe, if possible. But I had a couple thoughts about that. First of all, most chefs aren't making the latest Cheez-It or the latest Dorito, so I'm not sure that's really up their alley. Second of all, chefs' palates are so refined, I'm not sure they can almost even relate to what the average person is tasting as far as like just generic low-end food goes, snacks and junk food. Although Anthony Bourdain did love In-N-Out Burger, but it's kind of like movie critics. Like I'd rather listen to my brother's opinion about a movie than Siskel and Ebert. They're pretentious movie reviews, looking for a deeper meaning and everything. I just want to be entertained. He got kicked in the balls. I'm not looking for socially redeeming value to a movie necessarily. And sometimes those movie critics don't see it that way. Siskel and Ebert absolutely hated each other, by the way. You ever see their behind the scenes footage? They did not like each other. It kind of makes their movie reviews more entertaining just to think of it in that respect. They're sitting there brooding about each other the entire time. My skin was burning the entire walk. Welcome back to the main stage for day number 2, taste test number 2. Today I've got 2 flavors of ice cream. Cold case Blackmail and the new Nutella ice cream. First up, Nutella, you gotta get out of here, ride the pine for a second here. I'm really interested in this one. This is Cold Case Blackmail. This came out in 2025, but only recently got wider distribution, so it's kind of more widely available now. I believe it's only at Kroger stores, which I found at Smith's here in Las Vegas. They say it's a black-colored sweet cream ice cream made with activated charcoal. It has chocolate sandwich cookies and marshmallow cream swirls. Looking at the packaging here, this entire container is 1,100 calories. I was kind of looking at pros and cons online. People were saying that it looks awesome. They love the effect of it. Some people were saying that it looked better than it tasted. It was just kind of average tasting, but looked cool. Also, they don't use any kind of low fat anything. They use full fat everything. Kind of like the ice cream version of the Heart Attack Grill. Let's open this up here. Whoa, look at the color. That is, I've never seen ice cream that color before. It's not even really black, it's more gray with some, you can see some chocolate chunks in there. Maybe some marshmallow. It's a very strange color. I've never seen a color of ice cream like that before. Very interesting. See, the problem is that it's so weird looking, it's probably gonna taste kind of like average ice cream. That's why I think people were disappointed. Down the hatchet. I have to not look at it because it doesn't look like it tastes. It tastes nothing like it looks. It's really good. The chocolate chunks stand out the most. The number one ingredient is fresh cream, fresh milk. It's kind of a really rich, thick, decadent cookies and cream flavor. Not quite cookies and cream, it's kind of cookies and cream adjacent. It's there with cookies and cream, but it's a little bit different. It's very thick, very rich. People were saying that their tongues turn black. I don't think mine is. This is not one of those guilt-free ice creams. This is the opposite of that. It tastes very good, but the taste is a little bit more subdued than the actual appearance of it, which is very dramatic. It feels a bit gimmicky, a bit like a novelty item, but on the other hand, it tastes quite good. So, I mean, maybe they've carved out a new niche for themselves. And speaking of new niche, let's move on to the second item now, which is the Nutella ice cream, their first foray into the ice cream field. This was requested by Arkansas Dave on Discord, who wanted a shout out. Dave, this is your shout out. This was released in December 2025 in select stores nationwide spring of 2026. They say it's the official Nutella ice cream made with chocolate hazelnut dairy base and Nutella swirls. They say it's intended to capture the familiar roasted hazelnut, cocoa, and creamy sweetness of Nutella. Now those consumers online who like this, they say it captures the flavor of Nutella. Now those who didn't like it said it was too sweet. And they said that the 14-ounce container was a bit small for what they expected. There it is. There really is not much to see there. There's like a hard shell on the top. I had to break through. There it is. Looks pretty good. Kind of what I expected. But there's that thick shell on the top, which I was not expecting. Almost like a giant Reese's peanut butter cup. I guess I want some of this hard shell here. Yep, that's Nutella, all right. Let me try the ice cream by itself. The ice cream is not quite as Nutella-like, except for when you get those swirls in there. Those swirls, that's Nutella. I would say outside of the Nutella itself, there's just an overall hazelnut flavor, which is quite pleasant. You would think they could go overboard with that, but they didn't. They did not go overboard. It's a nice, pleasant hazelnut flavor. I would say the Nutella ice cream is pretty much what you expect it to be. There's an ice cream base, there's Nutella swirls in there, and it's quite good. I don't think Nutella fans will be disappointed in that. There seems to be a lot of swirls in there, so it's not like they've chinced out of them. It seems like there's a lot in there. It's an interesting texture-wise because you have those swirls that are a little bit harder, but overall, I thought it was quite good. Both of them are very decadent and very thick, and they're pretty much a meal on their own. If you were to eat both those containers, it would be about 2,000 calories, and maybe a trip to the ER afterwards. But that's about it for day 2 taste test, and now on with the rest of this vlog. Out running errands in this nice warm weather, which reminded me kind of a funny story. It might make me look like a bad guy, but I don't care. This is probably in the early 90s. So I had this boss, and he was a horrible person. The only reason that I continued to work for him is because I was basically feeding the authorities information on him so they could arrest him. That's how bad of a person he was. He was a bad person. So one day he shows up and he's not feeling well. And of course, if it was any other person, I'd feel sympathy, but for him, I didn't. So he's shivering. It's like mid-July. It's burning up outside. He has the chills. So he's like, I gotta go warm up. So he goes outside. And then another employee comes in and says, oh, what's he doing out there? And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, come look. We look outside. He's sitting in his car. The car's not running. And he's in this car, which is probably 130 degrees like this. Did I feel sympathy? Unfortunately, I did not. Maybe at a basic human level, but for that person, not really. Ironically, I was actually teamed up with a NHL broadcaster to help bring this guy down. We didn't really bring him down long term, we brought him down short term. It's kind of weird, me and an NHL broadcaster coming together to get the authorities to buzz this guy. I think he's still out there ripping people off as far as I know, but anyways, I didn't feel sympathy for him then. Being in this hot car reminded me of that. I hadn't thought about that in years. Was I going somewhere with that, or was that just by itself? I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna head back home soon, and I gotta wrap this video up at some point. We have clouds. We have clouds out here. I even got some sprinkles on my head earlier. But you know what though? I think it's about it. This video feels long enough. Maybe too long for some of you guys. And let's not forget, at the end of this video, I have about a 4.5 minute montage of 100 moments from each one of my 100 vlogs, including this one. So for those of you who have the courage, the fortitude, dare I say the mettle, to watch that entire 4-minute montage is coming up right now. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time. There's my butt. There's a lot of different ways to pick up dog poop. We were just talking to the camera, it wasn't on. I'm trying to run up that hill a little bit more each day. Waiting for my buns to cool off. Good morning on my 57th birthday, that's right. Hey man, don't fool with me. At my desk, no shirt on because it's hot. I think I still got an hour, that's terrible. She wants to go inside, but I gotta tell her off first. Walmart, you gotta figure it out. It looks like it's got a mullet. I got an out of style palm tree. Get out of here, Facebook. See, he knows now that he's done, he can go inside. Wrapped up like a douche. Gonna let her in. My sorry for 2004. Took a dumpster full of disco records and blew them up. I feel like I woke up in someone else's body today. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt. My beautiful golden locks, which are long gone now. You're acting all innocent now. You weren't innocent a few minutes ago. We all call the Chewel. C-H-E-W-E-L. Get out of here with your snide comment. Crazy Russian hacker already reviewed this. I'm a back scratching junkie. He's running. Oh, he's out of control right now. I saw Rocky IV in the theater. I gotta say, I didn't really like it that much. He wants something. I don't know what he wants, but he wants something. You deserve to lose your $3 million in that dumb first tweet. I'm standing there, literally in my underwear. Have you ever had... Oh... You youngsters don't know how hard it was for us. You use Dawn dish soap? There's microplastics. This goofy hat. He's been singing out of tune for about 3 hours now. I would pick a harder product than I would do the park first. You know, how bad can fake Ray-Ban stories be? You're really posting a raving review about fluff picks. You know, we shall post no review before it's time, and it ain't time yet. He said the neck of his guitar had transformed into a snake. You got all the typical 80s stoner stuff. Look at all this. That was either a success or a failure, depending on how you look at it. It's kind of dumb to start a video asking a question that people can't answer. And with that, let's get right to the first question. How was that? You know, I can't even relax in my own bed without being traumatized by these things. I apologize to Leo Sayer for telling people that your song annoyed me. Gooey batter that did not turn out right. And I just said, this. Now, I'll watch Bigfoot videos. I ain't believing Bigfoot. It looked like our faces had metamorphosized into something else. Well, that's it for the first day of 2026. The first vlog on Freakin' 2. It's like a public bathroom. Everything is wet. If you're in your 50s and you ever want to feel young again, go on a cruise ship. You're thinking to yourself, that wasn't very funny, but you're like, the more I listen to Paul Stanley's audio book, the less I like him. That's my profile picture. Get out of here, man. Stiffed me for $200 like 20 years ago, so I'm coming back for you. Jolt Cola, down the hatch. The Sphere is right there. I'm here at the Sphere. Battle of the Ages, Wetzels versus Auntie Anne's. Do you say Auntie Anne's or Auntie Anne's? All right, I interrupt this vlog for a little bit of a taste challenge here. The Naked Doritos. Axl Rose in 2026 kind of sounds like the gingerbread man from Shrek.
You're saying Mr. Feastables is low end?
I think that's low end.
Backstreet Boys, Backstreet's back, all right.
You know, I actually had my brush with the FBI many years ago. I'm a 102-year-old woman. And this is my life experience. Reese's frozen fruit cups. Placing a burning match in between your butt cheeks and leaving it there. I'm putting Vegemite on an In-N-Out burger. Some people might say that's horrific. Here we go first. Holy cow! It's kind of like having your kids fight each other. It's like you love both of them. Look back into it. We interrupt this vlog for a Freakin' 2 food and drink taste test. I feel like I'm sweating. My tongue is numb, my mouth is hot. You know, I think people want to fight. I don't think I will. Oh no. Not the crust. and I can be like a typical generic car food review YouTuber today. That's a wholesome looking breakfast right there. On an empty stomach, it's probably gonna be delicious. Everything's tastes better when you're starving. This will be a flavor that has probably never been tasted before. What's creepier, someone politely talking to you, or you posting that online as if they did something wrong? If you don't put down the pie, you're gonna keep eating the pie. Mole, 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 mole. And I'm a circus, ready for some breakfast. It's sizzling. Why is it sizzling? That was awful. What was that? If aliens do exist and they saw that, they'd probably think how ridiculous we are. I think all of them are all virtually undrinkable. That's not a good sign. You don't want it? Wow. Bolt didn't want it, but I'm trying it again. That wasn't a great idea. It's not the kind of thing you really reach for when you want a refreshing drink. Give me a chili sleaze dog, please. Freaking 2, July 4th, Snackorama. I'm not sure I like it. I'm not sure I get cola. I'm not sure I hate it, because this is my 100th vlog.